Hey everybody, and welcome to the first Doorstep Musings from my new home. So on my other YouTube channel, which I shall link in the description, I have a series called Doorstep Musings, which came from, I think I started in 2020. They were sat on my doorstep through the shambles that was 2020. Musing about life, the universe, everything what's going on, life, my story, holistic therapy, health, well-being, trauma, and there's not that many on there, and I think there's a few actually on my BitChute channel, but it suddenly occurred to me that I can still doorstep muse in my new house, and I'll doorstep muse on my new channel. So I'm musing a little today. I've written a post on the socials about my story, which I'm slowly kind of adding over to this channel around having been evicted from my old house, being in a new place, the story around the stress that it caused being in a new place, moving house, loss of income, all of the things that are involved in the uprooting suddenly. I mean, the actual physical move itself was about 2 weeks from signing the contract to being in the house, plus another week and a bit of very, very hard physical moving of things, because we don't have a car. We'd asked for so much help with moving things like furniture and belongings, boxes and stuff in the lead up to the move, that in the week and a bit that we were moving stuff after we'd physically moved in and we're living here, was we move things ourselves on public transport. We don't have a car, on the train, a big massive suitcase, and we did get a couple of bits of help because there were some pieces of furniture that we were going to leave that we didn't. Glad we didn't in hindsight, but that's for a whole story. So it's physically exhausting, on top of the emotional and mental strain, the nervous system being shot, survival instincts kicking in, and it's a massive uprooting. Well, we've lived there for 10 years as well. It's a massive uprooting. There's the whole anxiety-inducing eviction side of things, like being threatened to be, like, I guess forcibly is not the right word, but literally being told you've got no choice, like, you've got to go. That's huge. Like, that's a massive impact on people's mental and emotional well-being. Now, I believe myself to be quite mentally and emotionally prepared for upheavals in life. I've been doing and unravelling complex PTSD for 7 years, discovering that was in fact what I had, unravelling it and all of that. It's been a very, very fascinating 7 years, and undoing and unravelling that. I believe that I'm pretty kitted out, armoured up for upheavals that make you fear for your survival. And fear might seem like a strong word for a house eviction, but that is a survival emotion. That is that is some of the rooted energy that comes up. It's like, where am I going to live? Not necessarily fear that, because we know that in our modern society you're not going to end up with nowhere to go. But when you factor in generational imprints and you factor in soul stories, like the number of times that has happened through my ancestral line, maybe through my soul's experience, like being uprooted from one's home, and that resulting in much harsher consequences than the options that get given us in modern society, should you actually be forcibly removed from your home, which is temporary accommodation given by the council, or even sofa surfing, or even anything like that might happen. I know people who've refused temporary accommodation on the grounds that it was absolutely dire and they've had friends willing to put them up. Travelling is another option, but all of that is like, that's easy compared to what our ancestors may have had to have done generations back, or what experiences our soul may have had in previous lifetimes. So these things are brought up when we have these experiences, and it's been a wild ride. Things that I spent a lot of last year processing and realising about myself, my core belief of never ever having thought I was ever going to be good enough for anything. I'd done so much on that in the course of the first 6 months of last year, so that I'd actually seen this great increase in my income. I was seeing clients booking in every week, I was seeing amazing things result in, I was creating this rest, surrender, trust process, a 6-month process that I'm starting finally at the end of April. I was seeing that come to fruition. I was like really getting the outline of it down and prepared, and being told you're going to have to leave your house, and if you don't find somewhere voluntarily, it will go to court and you'll be basically forcibly removed. I don't actually think they come and physically drag you out of the house, but that's the energy and frequency of the letters that start to go around. And this was a no-fault eviction. Like, this was not anything we'd done, and it was just, it was a tough 6 months. And the other side of the story is that just prior to the eviction notice, because my income was increasing so well and I was like getting these bookings coming in, I was feeling comfortable. Like, I was about 20-30 minutes by bus from where I lived to here now. All in all, it was a 2-hour round trip. I had to allow for an hour in case the bus didn't run, or sometimes the bus can get stuck on the road here for like what's a 10-minute 15-minute car ride max for like 40 minutes. So I had to allow an hour each way just in case of circumstances. I'd go home on the train because it was slightly easier, but all of that, I was allowing for all of that, and I was coming over here 3 days a week, feeling really good about and really positive about that, and seeing the things come in. And as a result, as more clients come in, then I feel more like I'm able to come over, and all of that. And we had been on the government state benefits that are here in the UK since we'd had children, since we were self-employed. It was always had an income that's not been the best, shall we say. And I was seeing it actually grow to the point where I was like, this is good, because there's been a big change in the government benefits here in the UK over the course of the last, well, it's been ongoing. It was actually the thing that set me off on my healing journey, was learning about this change in the benefit system. So it's been being rolled out for maybe 7 years or more. I don't even know how long they've been rolling out this new way of doing the benefits, social state benefits here. It's clunky, it's also, it crashed computer systems several times while they were rolling out. That's why it's took so many years to roll it out. But it's rolled out. Now, without getting too political, not the purpose of this channel, maybe I'll share all that on another channel. It's invasive, it's controlling, and initially I was terrified of the thought of going on it, because you have to have a viable income, which in my previous business I'd really not done, for the hours that you work, or be expected to find outside employment. Now, my root desire when this benefit first came out and I had a toddler, 3-year-old, was to be at home and be a mum. We home educate. I've got 2 under 10 as well, and a toddler, and was like, I didn't want to go and find outside employment. My husband was gardening at the time, and that's physically demanding, to expect him to go out and get outside employment, because we were working together with this home education. We were both self-employed. When we'd chosen self-employment about 13 years ago, we'd actually been encouraged by the job centre to count every minute literally that you spend doing things for your employment when you're self-employed as working hours, so that you could say how many hours you were working, what met the hourly criteria. And this felt like on this new benefit there would be that you wouldn't be able to say that, because your income may not reflect the number of literal hours you put in. And I've always put in hours and hours and hours to what I do, because when you're self-employed, anyone out there who's self-employed knows, when you're a solopreneur, when you're on your own, you are admin, you are marketing, you are doing the actual whatever it is that you do, your self-employment is. So it's product-based business, which is what I had before, product-based, making the products. There's writing, there's ordering, shopping for anything that you're shopping for, there's design, so there's doing things on my website, creating Canva images, recording videos, editing videos, putting videos up on various platforms, all of that literal hours. The hours that I put into what I do, even now, will exceed the hourly requirement for being self-employed or whatever to claim state benefits here in the UK. But my hourly income from that over the years has not even come close to what minimum wage is, particularly when I was in my handmade business. Wasn't even close. Probably got about £3, £4 an hour, if I was lucky. Yeah. And now I can actually say that I receive minimum wage in a good month, not in months where I've been threatened with eviction from my house and my income goes from £2,000 a month to nothing. That's a bit stressful. And £2,000, it's not even like £2,000 a month is that much in the grand scheme of things, for a family of 5. Because by that point, like, my husband hasn't done any gardening, paid gardening since 2020, and he lost his clients in 2020. Nobody wanted him to go during COVID, and because our youngest was about 3, we just thought, right, well, he could do that. I looked like I was going to be able to do holistic therapies, and that would increase, but obviously 2020 was what it was, and for all sorts of energetic reasons, client attraction has been a challenge, shall we say. I'm extremely good at what I do. Every single client that walks through my door is so happy with what they receive. Every single client who leaves feels like they've received something beneficial. The feedback that I get, some of which is on my website, some of which I can't share because of confidentiality, is just so beautiful. I know from my experiences when I'm doing a healing session, when I'm doing a massage, when I'm doing an EFT, I know from those experiences that I'm very good at what I do. I am very intuitive as a healer and as a mentor and therapist, as a holistic therapist. I'm very intuitive. I read people very well. I listen. One of my superpowers within my human design chart is listening, and I spot patterns so I can see where people are doing the same things in their life or what they need to do to make changes to help themselves and all of that. But for some reason, even since 2020, since I started holistic support in 2020, actually attracting clients has been my biggest challenge, and receiving then therefore the viable income has been a challenge. So we can write a couple of years off anyway, because 2020 was what it was, and generally speaking that was fine with regards to like what people were expecting of little human, what people were expecting of self-employed people with regards to income and what was then paid, and the extra support that was out there given freely, it seems, by governments all over the place. So, and then so we chose to not receive this benefit. We chose that we would be able to manage with the rent in the old property, and we just had 2 months, August and September, because it was towards the end of September when we got the eviction notice, of actually my income supporting the family, and got that letter, and wow, the impact was, even though like we were happy, we knew it was the right thing, we felt like it was guidance from spirit to move on, and we absolutely, I was happy to be travelling, doing that 2-hour round trip to come here 3 days a week. Now I'm at Soul Wellness Hub, gonna link them below, where I'm based. If you're in West Yorkshire, come and check us out, we're awesome. I'm there 6 days a week. It's amazing. It's a cafe wellness hub, like local hub for people to, like-minded people to gather and share. It's an amazing vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free cafe, and it's just so good. And I get to just go and hang out there, and clients walk in, people walk in looking for a massage, people walk in looking for a healing session, people find me in the therapist manual or on the website, people looking for saunas find me on the website, people looking for massage therapists find me on the website, like searching on Google. It's incredible, it's phenomenal. But that has been one of the greatest challenges to everything that I've done, all the emotional clearing that I've spent 7 years doing, all the inner work, mindset work, clearing the trauma, clearing the pain, thinking, oh my God, I'm ever going to get out of this hole I'm in. All of that. It's been such a, that was a husband that time. It's been such a interesting experience to go through, and even now, while I'm still navigating, trying to get back on my feet financially and make sure, because there was things that didn't get paid in those sort of the 3 months October, November, December, 4 months. January, those things that didn't get paid, I'm still trying to do my best to get back on my feet. My husband is having to start from scratch now. He is actually, because the youngest 10 now and the oldest 16. We're like, he's really, really, like, I show you I love the little backyard. It's full of logs because he's doing some gardening stuff. He's going to create some things. He's got his first meeting with a gardening client very soon, and a second one probably in the pipeline, because he's a horticulture, he's got a degree in horticulture, and he's also got a lot of self-learning around regenerative horticulture, similar to permaculture, but I can't call himself a permaculturist because I don't go to permaculture school. But he's read all the books, and we've been to all the meetings of we've met permaculture experts, and it's like I've not seen him work so hard, and I don't use that word lightly. Work is not in my vocabulary for myself, and really not for him. I've not seen him put so much action and effort into his dreams for a long time as he has in we've been here 6 weeks. It's incredible, and it's inspiring, and it's wonderful, and it feels like I'm not alone doing everything. Not that I really felt alone in the last 5 years. Not that I felt alone, but it's been, really, really interesting. I can't math. I've realised that I said that our youngest was 3 in lockdown. It felt like she was 3. She'd just turned 5. But she was very puzzled by all the events of 2020, and rather than have us stressing over both of us trying to get clients or get work in at the time, it was easier for me to go and for my husband to spend time dedicated to more learning, because he's got to learn. There's a lot of learning he's doing for his projects and things, and it made more sense for him to be the one to stay at home, because health and wellness always needed. So anyway, a little bit more of my story, where I'm at the moment, and it's really exciting to be just like squinting at them. How long have I been talking? Okay, so this is the Doorstep Musing. This is a little bit of a share on how powerful the inner work and emotional clearing that I've spent 7 years doing have been to help me to navigate the two really, really stressful, challenging life circumstances. The top 5 most stressful life events that you can go through: loss of a loved one, ill health, mind blank, loss of a loved one, ill health. I always forget one. Usually it's the ill health. Loss of income is number 4. Moving house is number 5. That number 3 will come to me. I had 2 of them in like a short period of time. 3 months, 6 months, if you count from the eviction notice to us. I know, 4 months. 4 months, because it's 6 months now since the eviction, because we were evicted on the autumn equinox, and we just through the spring equinox, and that moment in time, those 2 things, loss of income, moving house, and the stress and anxiety around, wasn't even just like, oh, we were choosing to move house, which is stressful. It's stressful when you're choosing to move house. When you're being forced to move house, then it's really, really challenging. And I will put some pictures of the house that we moved into. Like, I love the house. I really do, actually. I love the house, really. But it's actually not fulfilling standards. We're in the process of taking that to the housing group where we're renting from, because it's undecorated, like seriously undecorated, like walls are bare type undecorated, and graffiti on the walls type of undecorated, and that's actually against what's expected of landlords' responsibilities. But that's another story as well. So yeah, it is what it is, but it's a great move. It's a great step up, and a lot of what I'm teaching through the Rest Surrender Trust process is what's enabled me to navigate it all and still have a smile on my face, and to be able to see the absolute magic and wonder of it all being here. And it kept me going through it all. So that's what we'll be doing in Rest Surrender Trust. The link is below to sign up. I'd love to see you there. It's £555. If you've made it all the way through this video, congratulations. I hope you enjoyed Doorstep Musing #1 here on the new Indigo Sky Holistic Intuitive channel, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye.